The man who gave water to a thirsty dog. This one small act earned a man Allah's forgiveness. A man was walking on a very hot day. He saw a dog extremely thirsty, struggling to survive. The man looked around. There was no water anywhere except a deep well. So he climbed down the well himself, filled his shoe with water, and gently walked back up, just to give that thirsty dog a drink. Because of this small act of mercy, Allah forgave him completely. Allah loves kindness, even to animals. Never underestimate any small good deed. Here is a ready-to-post TikTok storytelling script for the woman who was saved because of her charity. This story will make you want to give more. There was once a woman who gave charity regularly, not because she was rich, but because she trusted that Allah would always provide. Even on days when she barely had enough for herself, she still shared a little with someone in need. One day, a calamity was written for her, something that could have harmed her deeply, but Allah, in His mercy, removed it completely, because of the charity she had given with a sincere heart. Sadaqah doesn't decrease wealth, it protects it. The man who moved a branch from the road. A simple act that led him to Jannah. There was once a man walking along a road when he noticed a branch lying in the middle of the path. It had sharp points, and anyone passing by could trip, fall, or get hurt. He didn't ignore it. He didn't wait for someone else to move it. He simply bent down, picked it up, and placed it safely to the side, just so others wouldn't be harmed. Because of this small act of kindness, Allah honored him and granted him Jannah. Doing good for people brings Allah's mercy. Never underestimate small acts. Here is a ready-to-post TikTok storytelling script for the mother who made dua for her son. Never underestimate your mother's dua. There was a young man who struggled with almost everything. His goals weren't working out, his plans kept failing, and life felt heavy. One day he realized something was missing. He wasn't giving time to his mother, so he started helping her sincerely, serving her with kindness, listening to her, and taking care of her needs with a smile. His mother raised her hands and made dua for him, a dua filled with love, a dua only a mother can make. After that, his life began to change. Doors opened, opportunities appeared, and blessings started pouring in. All because of a mother's sincere dua. Serving your parents brings blessings you can't imagine. The story of the 3 men trapped in the cave. 3 men were trapped in a cave, and something unbelievable happened. 3 men were traveling together when suddenly heavy rain forced them to take shelter in a cave. But as they entered, a huge rock slid down from the mountain and completely blocked the entrance. There was no way out. They said to each other, "Let us make dua to Allah by mentioning the most sincere deeds we ever did, the ones we did only for His sake." The first man mentioned his devotion to his parents and how he always served them with love. He made dua, and the rock moved a little. The second man mentioned his purity and self-control in a difficult moment, choosing Allah over desire. He made dua, and the rock moved again. The third man mentioned keeping a promise and being honest in business, even when no one was watching. He made dua, and the rock moved completely. They walked out of the cave safely, saved by the sincerity of their deeds. When you do good sincerely for Allah, it becomes your rescue later. The woman who fed a neighbor in secret. The reward for feeding others is bigger than you think. There was a woman who cooked meals for her family every week, but she always made a little extra. Not because she needed it, but because she knew her neighbor was struggling. So every week, without telling anyone, without seeking praise, she quietly placed food at their door and walked away before anyone could see her. No one knew it was her. No one thanked her. But Allah knew. And Allah never forgets any good deed done sincerely. With time, her own life began to change. Blessings appeared, her worries became lighter, and her home was filled with peace. All from kindness done in secret. Deeds done in secret are loved most by Allah. The young boy who respected his father's friend. Respect can bring blessings you didn't expect. There was a young boy who always made it a point to greet and honor his father's old friends. He listened politely, helped them when needed, and never showed impatience or disrespect. One day, the boy found himself in a difficult situation. He needed help, but didn't know where to turn. Unexpectedly, one of the friends he had always respected stepped forward to help him. providing guidance, support, and a solution he never imagined. His small acts of respect and kindness came back to him in a blessing he hadn't anticipated. Kindness and respect come back to you in ways you don't see coming. The man who forgave everyone before sleeping. This habit made him one of the people of Jannah. There was a companion of the Prophet ﷺ who had a simple yet powerful habit. Every night before going to sleep, he would think of anyone who had wronged him that day, and he would forgive them in his heart. No anger, no grudges, no resentment. This habit brought him peace of mind, closeness to Allah, and a reward that was beyond what anyone could measure. By letting go of anger and forgiving, he prepared his heart for Jannah even while sleeping. Letting go of grudges brings peace and reward. Forgive even when it's hard. Allah loves the forgiving. The farmer who trusted Allah with his crops. This story will increase your tawakkul trust. There was a farmer who worked hard on his land every season. One year, a sudden disaster destroyed all his crops. Everything he had worked for was gone. Instead of despairing, he said, Allah will replace it. I trust Him completely. He continued to work with patience and faith. The next season, his harvest was more abundant than ever before. The loss he suffered was replaced with even greater blessings, all because he trusted Allah wholeheartedly. When you trust Allah, He gives you better than what was lost. Have tawakkul, patience and faith bring rewards. The man who gave his last date in charity. Even the smallest charity matters. There was a poor man who had only one date left to eat. Instead of keeping it for himself, he gave it in sadaqah, charity, to someone in need. It was a tiny act, but it came from a sincere heart. Later, Allah blessed him with a much bigger source of rizq. His act of giving, even though small, brought immense reward. This shows that what matters is the sincerity of the heart, not the size of the gift. Don't wait to have a lot before you give. Give from what you have. Allah multiplies it.